I am Chantol and I am a senior nursing student at Lawrence Tech here in Michigan. Honestly, my road to nursing, I feel like I always say it's divine, but it was so bumpy. It was never like straight away I went into nursing. But I love the sciences and I love, just human interaction. So I remembered starting my first job at a nursing home. And I'm like, if I can stick it out just for 1 year, I'm going to give myself 1 year. If I can make it, I'm going to go into nursing because that sounds like the most logical step. I honestly feel like nursing was one of the best choices I could have made because of the opportunity. So one of my hopes is that I will expand my education. I always say I want to be impactful. I know nursing is such a great opportunity. I mean, regarding, the amount of money you can make, but I always see myself that if I'm going to do something I want to do to the best of my ability, I want to leave an imprint when I go. So that's always one of my biggest hopes, like, how do I do that? And I always think back wherever I am, because again, I've been to Jamaica, I've been to the Bahamas, I've been to the States, and I'm like, okay, what can I do for the places I've been traveling? What can I do for the people? And especially back home, what can I do for my people with whatever I've learned here, with all of the skills that I have, with whatever resources I have? How can I help to give back? How can I be an impact there? How can I also be an impact here? One of my fears is, I don't know, maybe the whole landscape of how we're seen. How can I show up as my most authentic self? Will I be appreciated for who I am? Do I have to, kind of put on a mask? One of my main barriers is because obviously we came from Jamaica and my family, it was a decently hard transition, especially financially, because we're leaving home, which is our home, to come to a place. We didn't even have a home when we first came. I have to help mom. At the time, dad had spent all of his resources helping us to migrate. So now he was at a financial deficit. So I'm just like, Mom, I'm not gonna let you down, but I'm gonna figure something else out because we're gonna do this together. And I remember my little sister, she just started high school. Everyone was working. I was working. My mom was working. At that time was working that full time, as I said. That was the job. I said, if I can last for 1 year, I was gonna go ahead and be a nurse. I ended up doing 9 months and I said, yes, nursing is for me. But when I worked as in the nursing assistant realm, I loved that I was able to do that one-on-one connection. So I really feel like I'll see myself in a place where I can kind of sit down and have that one-to-one relationship with the patients. If I find a hospital that can do that, that's great. But my mind is more bent and swayed to a nursing home because I know they need a lot of help. When you're there in the nursing home, when it comes to your dignity, to be there to support them, hold their hands, that's really where I want to be. I can tell you, when I first walked into my university, I remembered I had to take a biology course. And I walked in and I was so close to walking back out. I looked around, there was no females, there was no one of color. Am I in the right class? Because I'm so used to back home where it's just so much females, it's just so diverse. And I'm like, I think I'm in the wrong class. And they're like, no, you're in the right one. I remembered sitting one row to the back because I'm like, no, I just feel so uncomfortable. And that professor, honestly, he was such a godsend because he made me feel so comfortable. He was like, listen, if I say anything wrong, you correct me. I trust your judgment. And I felt like that just said, okay, this is my space. This is my moment to shine. I can shine in this environment. And I feel like every single class I've been in, the professors have always been that way. Every single class I've been in, I've always felt welcome. I've always felt like, yeah, you need to express yourself. You need to share your stories. You need to share your experience. You need to bring what you've learned from home and you need to take it here because everyone has a story. Everyone has a beautiful background and so is yours and it needs to be heard.